Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the second episode of the podcast. This is the first golf related podcast from Pakistan. And today we have a very interesting guest with us. The first golf YouTuber from Pakistan, the top golf YouTuber from Pakistan, Mr. Shaan Tahir. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Ayan. It's a pleasure being here, honestly.
How did you get into making golf videos?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
Start up.
Actually, to be honest, the first inspiration came during COVID. We all were sitting home with not much to do, honestly. And I started watching these golf videos on YouTube. And honestly, back in the day would have actually been a better time to start because there were far lesser people doing this on YouTube. There was one particular channel I used to follow, I remember. So I started watching them and I really felt like doing something at that time. But it just didn't pan out, honestly. I didn't know what camera to use, where to go. I remember I messaged certain people for permissions to shoot at the golf courses, didn't really get much feedback from them. And in about a month or two, it kind of fizzled out because the little content I made, I put it on my computer. I didn't have a computer which supported editing at that time. I didn't know anything about editing either. So it kind of just went away. The idea slipped. And then I think in 2023, in the beginning of it, I was sitting with some friends and they asked me about this plan I had a couple of years back to make golf content and put it on YouTube. And I said the same things to them that, it just kind of, went away. And they basically encouraged me and they said, but you should do it, right? Start putting content up and see where it goes. And honestly, that's how it started. And I had my phone, didn't know anything about it, made a couple of videos. And I wasn't supposed to upload it, but my wife became my first subscriber on YouTube. And she sent the link to everyone she knew.
Really?
So that happened. And then the video I had put up, it was in Royal Palm, the first video I made.
Which was that video?
The first, just showing Royal Palm.
We're going to put that in the...
Yeah, please do. Please do.
The cards up.
I actually really like how that video was edited and made. I wish I could do something like that again. But she forwarded that video to everyone, encouraged me to do it. So I uploaded on a few WhatsApp groups I was on. And in no time, I think within 3-4 hours, I had 600 plus views on that first video. Like the inspiration came in COVID, it was reignited by my friends, and I was thrown in the deep end to do it by my wife. That's a little story behind it.
How many videos on average are you making now?
So I don't have like a fixed number. A long format, I'm putting a video a week. Since about 7 months now, almost 7 months. And shots really varies. Sometimes I've put in 3 shots in a week, sometimes 1, sometimes none. So on average, let's say I'm putting in like 2 to 3 videos in a week, 1 long format and a couple shots.
The reason why I asked this question was, is there a method to the madness? Is there a method of how many videos you're supposed to make, or you're...
Actually, to begin with, I thought that there was a method to the madness. And I have been proven wrong. I actually, a couple of months back, I came across a platform which kind of helps aspiring YouTubers. So I took a little training from them, actually. I subscribed to their program and I had a YouTube coach who was helping me through the process. And they told me that there's no method, like what we are talking about in that sense. Contrary to what people believe, you don't need to have a specific time which you upload the video on. You don't have to have a specific day that you upload the video on. You don't even need to be uploading 1, 2, 3 videos a week. It is very random. Because for any aspiring YouTubers, this is for them as well, that the YouTube algorithm is very specific in its desire. All its desire is to put the right video in front of the right eyes. Period. That's it. That's all it wants to do, right? So for example, if I am someone who watches golf content on YouTube and I like watching cricket content as well, it's going to look for other people around the world, similar age group, gender, whatever, and throw the same thumbnail in front of them regardless of whether that video is 6 months old, uploaded yesterday, whether the person has a lakh subscribers or 100 subscribers, it doesn't matter, right? That video is going to be displayed, right? It's going to give an impression to you, for example, and then it's going to gauge from how you interact with that video and how popular that video becomes. So that depends on whether you liked the video or not, how long you watched the video, whether you commented on the video or not, and different other variables that YouTube looks at. And that's how the video grows. So there's actually, I was proven wrong. I thought for the first 5 months, oh my God, I can't explain to you how particular I was. If I was getting late, like 6 p.m. I had to upload the video. I've cancelled plans for it. I've driven back home for it. I've left work for it. That I have to upload the video at 6 p.m. And I remember this once I wasn't able to do it. And I was so sad for the next entire day that, it's all gone to waste. I've been putting in so much effort. So it's quite a relief actually to hear that all of these things actually do not matter.
How's the journey been so far?
Okay, the pause.
You've been doing this for quite a while now, since COVID. So I'm sure you've must have had really great experiences. You must have encountered a lot of challenges along the way as well. So we would like to know about those.
So why the pause? Why I hesitated for a few seconds is because the journey has been fantastic. It has been great. It has been extremely rewarding. I want more. But if you asked me 10 months ago that Shaan, you will be here where you are, I wouldn't have believed you. It's a strange place where I'm in, right? I wouldn't have anticipated or expected to be here, but now that I'm here, I'm hungry. I'm greedy for more. I'm desperate. I want this to grow quickly. And good things don't come easily, right? You need to work for them.
Oh, absolutely. You need to work really hard for them. You need to be consistent and you need to persevere.
Absolutely.
Perseverance commands success.
So the journey is going. It's been very, very good. I'd be lying if I say that I wasn't happy about it. It has been fantastic. Yes, there've been ups and downs, like in anything that you do. You have those ups and downs. You have those videos that you upload and you have put so much hard work behind them. You've taken days to edit them and you really feel good about them and you upload them and you don't have views on them.
So Shaan, you've told us about your journey of being a golf YouTuber. What are the particular challenges that you've had to face? Some highs and lows throughout your journey so far?
So being a golf YouTuber in Pakistan, while I did say that, there's a lot of market there, which was beneficial for me, but there are certain challenges that now I'm facing, having done this for a while. I'll tell you what those are. Firstly, we are restricted in the amount of golf courses we have over here. So I've been making content in Lahore particularly. There are only 4 or 5 courses over here and honestly only 2-3 are worth shooting in. And now I've made so much content in those courses that I'm finding it difficult to kind of find new topics, new engagement processes. It's the same course, it's the same layout and all of the same. So that's one challenge. I have to now travel intercity within Pakistan, which I'm planning to soon because courses are quite few in Pakistan. So that's one big challenge that I've faced. Then part of answering the highs and lows questions as well, I've had 3-4 different brands contact me for having a collaboration. Yeah. So recently, this company from the US emailed me. They produce golf nets and cages. They produce baseball golf cages and nets as well, and golf as well. And I was looking at their website, and their most expensive product is like $400. And the one that we got in touch, we shared some emails, and the net that they wanted to send me was about $100, right? Fantastic net. I was very excited about it actually. I told them that I was looking for one and you're sending me one, and we talked about how much content we'll make and what they require me to do, and all of those things we talked about it. They asked for my address. I told them. They said sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, they said that we don't deliver to Pakistan. And that's it, right? That's the end of it. it didn't go through. And another one, there's another brand called Craftsman Golf. I hadn't heard about them, from the US as well. They make fantastic accessories for golf, right? So golf covers, head covers, iron covers, and all those things. And they emailed me. We got in touch. Entire emails shared the same way. They were sending me a driver cover, they were sending me a putter cover as well, and they were sending me another driver cover for me to give away on Insta and YouTube Shorts and whatsoever. So entire plan was made, and I was very excited that, I'll do my first giveaway on my channel as well, because I see all these, big YouTubers do it. So very exciting times for me, and I told like a few people that, this is happening and all, and they asked for my address. I gave them the address, and it's been a month and a half. Those products have not arrived as yet.
Either you need to change your address or you need to stop giving it out.
Yeah. So a few particular challenges of being in Pakistan, those are definitely a few. So it's a bummer, honestly. It's a bummer because you work towards these things. And honestly, getting that first email for collaboration is such a high.
Yeah.
Right? And your address becomes the low point. So it's a strange thing to experience, to be honest, because I'm here actually doing this to present Pakistan in the best way possible, to show the world that there's more to Pakistan. But the world isn't ready to accept it, I think.
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges in that regard, with regards to the perception of Pakistan. Like, for example, when Gary was here.
Yeah.
Gary played with you. Gary, I had a game with him as well, a couple of games with him actually, and he was like, he was genuinely surprised. How was your experience, when you met Gary and played with him?
Again, we had our interactions with Gary, and I'm sure we have different takeaways from that entire experience with him. But I think something that resonated with me the most, or surprised me rather the most, that's a better word to use, was when he mentioned how difficult the golf courses in Pakistan were.
Yeah.
I don't know if he spoke to you about that or not.
He did.
Because he's like, in England, golf is a recreational sport. Fathers and sons would go, friends would go after work, they'd probably drink a little on the course as well, and they'll just have fun. Their concern is not how well they score. It's literally how we play cricket in Pakistan. Maybe, at night we get together and play in someone's garage, right? They go to golf courses in England. So those golf courses are easier courses because the more difficult they make them, people will be discouraged to go. So he was very surprised when he came here and saw how difficult the golf courses were. And even more so when I said that we do not have a handicap above 18. He couldn't believe it, right? That we actually do, like, even if someone's 30 handicap, he has to play at 18 as a male in Pakistan. So he's like, I see now why they can play 18 as well, because even if as a beginner, you start playing at these courses, my God, there's so much potential for you to become so good, because you're like thrown in the deep end, like we talked about earlier. You have to be good. You don't have a choice. So that's something that, as a takeaway, I remember from Gary when he came. But besides that, honestly, again, getting that message from Gary on Instagram, and then seeing how many followers he has on Insta and on YouTube, and him coming in, making content over here, was again one of those highs.
It was a pleasure for me as well to host Gary, and I've invited him over to play the JAZaman Memorial next year. Let's see. I hope if we can get a group of friends over from the UK.
Actually, Gary is such a fantastic guy, because I saw how much he promoted the JAZaman.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, absolutely.
Constantly, he was, even when it was happening before that, and I think that was amazing of him, because I'm sure that you particularly didn't ask him to do it. Even when we made our content, it was very sweet of him, because I said that, dude, you're the guy. I'm just here. You tell me what we need to do. And we made a 6-hole match play video with 3 holes on his channel and 3 holes on my channel. And I asked him whether his video should be the first 3 holes or the second 3 holes, the last 3 holes. And he himself said that I should go first, because I want my audience and subscribers to jump over to your channel. Right, that's the only way it will happen, and will promote your channel as well. And I thought that was very thoughtful of him. Very, very kind and very sweet and thoughtful of him. And people did jump over. Like, I actually had some fantastic comments, people saying that, oh, I jumped over from Gary's channel and saw your channel. Good luck, man. Good luck, mate. So happy that you're doing something like this. And so many people jumped over, which, all thanks to Gary, honestly.
I thought that was a great idea, of splitting the video into two parts. And you also got a golf lesson from him.
Actually, we're doing this unfiltered podcast, so I want to talk about that as well. So as a YouTuber, you're always thinking of making content, right?
Yeah.
Wherever you find any kind of content, you want to grasp it and you want to use it. So I was on the range before we started going and making our content on the course, which we had pre-planned. And I was hitting my driver and I turned to Gary and I said, Gary, you know what? I need a driving lesson. And how about we make a video on it, right? I think it'll be great. And again, amazing dude. He said, fantastic, let's do it, no problem, right? So we went and we played 18 holes of golf. We shot our video on the course and we came back. And I was hesitant because I'm meeting for the first time, and like, now, Gary, now let's go shoot that. And he himself said that, let's go do that before we get to other things. So then we went to the simulator and he gave me that lesson. And that lesson, by the way, was a genuine lesson.
I saw the entire video from start to finish. And I actually started practicing my swing as well.
So actually, anyone who plays golf knows that it takes some time to adopt the changes in your swing. It doesn't happen all of a sudden. So I've been practicing the things that Gary told me to practice on in that particular video. And honestly, my distance has increased by a good 10-15 yards now. And 10-15 yards in golf is like an entire club.
It's a huge difference.
Right? So if I was hitting 250, 260, if I'm hitting 270, 75, suddenly the entire outlook of a course changes. So those are just those few things that Gary added in my swing, thanks to him, right? A shout out to Gary. We both have met him and talking about him.
Absolutely. And the high for his visit when he was here was when we went to Lake City. I just asked them. Lake City is a private course, not everybody is allowed to play over there. I just asked them and we got an invite, and we just rushed basically to Lake City, and he smashed me over there. He played like 3 under in 4 holes and something like that. So revenge match is on next year.
I hope that he genuinely comes. He planned to come. I'm very curious to see. I'll again, something I've been noticing. His videos in Pakistan as a whole have not done as well as his videos that he uploads from the UK.
Yeah.
On the inside in the simulator and all of those things. I was very curious, I thought I'll ask Gary as well. So I'm just throwing this kind of thought out there that his channel predominantly has been of someone who's tried different equipment. It's like the simulator. There's a particular brand of videos that he makes, and he, I think, ventured out coming to Pakistan, making course vlogs and all of those things, right? And I feel like his subscribers are based a lot more on those kind of videos inside as opposed to outside. And whereas I feel like I'm working at a much smaller level than him, but I started off with the course vlogs. That is what I wanted to do. Whenever I've made a video indoors, it has not done well at all.
So basically what you're talking about is the type of content that you're producing and the niche that you're operating in. If you select a particular niche, it's better to stick to it. Is that correct?
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. And also throwing that question out there, maybe, will Gary come again?
I hope so.
But it's not great content maybe for him.
At least for a golf tournament, the invitation is there. The invitation is absolutely thrown out there.
Maybe you need to sponsor him. He'll come.
I'm going to talk about that. Definitely not on this podcast. Any advice that you want to give aspiring golf YouTubers?
I think this advice is so cliched. It's said by so many people, and it can't be more true. And this is not just for golf YouTubers, it is for any person who wants to start producing content on YouTube and uploading it. Since I've decided doing it, I have told so many people to do it as well. Just do it.
Like the Nike sign.
That's coincidence, but just do it honestly. Because I remember seeing so many YouTube videos on how to go about it, what things to do, how to upload, and this and that, and everyone said start doing it, and all of those things would start falling into place themselves. You can't know everything about everything before you get into it. You need to step into it, right? So like I said, I had a phone, uploaded, like made videos on that. I didn't know how the mic worked, like what mic to use, what are the camera angles. Like you'll be surprised, for example, and like I have the most fun sort of thinking about that time. It is so difficult to find that right angle for the camera behind you. It seems like the most obvious thing to do, but it took me so many videos to really know where the camera should be placed behind me so that the entire swing comes in the video. I can make the tracer in the video. It falls down. You can see the fairway as well. It's not too zoomed in. It's not too zoomed out. The sun isn't in it. Like, oh my God, like you asked me 10 months ago and I would have said, dude, just hold a camera and stand behind you and make a video. Like that's all it takes. Just as something as small as where to place the camera has so much of an impact, right? So, stuff like this, like you just need to get into it. Just start doing it. Don't think about it. If you have a phone, you have a table, put something behind your phone. You don't need a tripod. Just do it. Start talking in the camera. For some people, it's very difficult doing that. I was very fortunate and lucky because by profession, I'm a teacher, right? So I have been speaking in public settings for a decade and more. So speaking, looking at someone in their eyes or looking at a camera was never intimidating for me. To speak constantly was never intimidating for me either, right? I could do that regardless. So that worked in my benefit, but there's so many things I didn't know. So I'm saying a lot of things right now, putting it together basically, the advice basically is to just do it. Stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about everything that can go wrong. Let it go wrong because that is the process. So when I started doing this, all these famous people that I follow, YouTube gives you an option to go to the oldest videos.
Yeah.
Right? So many of them, I went to their oldest video. For some people I follow, they're like 7 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago. And my God, their production value from the first video to the video now are poles apart. Right? So they also are that famous. They never started with perfection either. They also started very rudimentary, like they didn't know what to do, to where they are today. And that is the lesson and advice for any aspiring content creator. Stop thinking.
So basically take that leap of faith and then persevere in it.
Absolutely. And trust in if there's any other advice I want to give rather, is that trust in your brand, your niche, what you can do. Because every person's different, right? We could be making the content on the same thing, Ayan, you and I, but our delivery styles are very different. Our personalities are very different. Some people may connect with you and they may not connect with me. They might...
Or vice versa.
Right? They want to see your video playing in Royal Palm than my video playing in Royal Palm. Yeah. That's natural, right? So you can't say that, 3 people are doing it, so you won't do it because it's done with. Not at all. People connect with different people altogether. Right? So trust in your niche, trust in your brand, trust in yourself and just throw yourself out there, right? You will start seeing how things evolve from there.
Yeah. That's great advice. And the very little experience that I have in all of this as well, I would double that, so I would say the same thing. By profession, you're a teacher. Yeah. How do you balance all of this? Personal life. Mashallah, you just had a little baby boy.
Alhamdulillah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How do you balance work life, personal life, and golf as well? Golf is a time consumer, and making videos on YouTube, golf videos on YouTube is for sure really time consuming. I've experienced that myself. How do you do it?
Would it be wrong to say that I don't balance it?
You want to go back home?
Honestly, and I'm not saying that just for the sake of saying it, but I have not been the best at balancing it. I'm a little bit of an obsessive person when I start doing something, right? I give it my everything, and in giving it my everything, I compromise everything on the side as well, which I was already doing. I obsess over it. I need to do it. So when I started playing golf, like my God, every single day for hours, I had to be at golf. Whether I had commitments back home, I had a dinner to go to, I had something to attend, my own children's parent-teacher meetings to attend, they're sidelined, right? That's how obsessive I can be when I pursue something. So when I started playing golf, like making content, for example, like again, I did not know anything, Ayan. Like I'm editing myself now, and I did not know what editing softwares are called, let alone using them, right? So from that point, you can only imagine how much time I had to spend. And last year's summer, I was once on my computer for 20 hours straight, because I had this YouTube tutorial I was watching, and they were telling me to do something which I couldn't do. So I was just at it, right? Until it was done.
You did not stop till.
I did not stop, right? Until I figured out how to do that, right? And I'm not saying like, oh, I like, this is how to go about things and how determined I am. Like, I'm not saying in that sense. I'm just telling you a part of my personality that I just, when I do something, I'm just totally focused on it. And I do then compromise stuff. Hence, what I was about to say was that I have not balanced it best. So really, credit to my family, credit to my wife, my kids, right, who have given me the space to do it and have been so supportive. And I'm not just saying it to say it, right? They have been so supportive and understanding of this. They understand me and the fact that I want to do this and I want to do this well, that they've given me this space, honestly. Otherwise, this would not have been possible. So do I balance it? I don't think I do at best. So yeah, that is the unfiltered answer to your question.
You have spoken the truth, my friend. Golfers generally fail at balancing anything in life.
Absolutely. But in all of this, one thing that I do, I think, like besides honestly the time that I had for my family, which is far lesser now, something that I do, I don't use the word regret, it's a very harsh word to use. Miss. Okay, that's a better word. I miss is playing golf for the sake of playing golf.
Which is going to lead me to my next question. When did you start playing golf?
5 years ago.
Just 5 years ago?
Yeah.
How did you get into it?
Oh, funny story. Fun story there. So I've been playing cricket my entire life, like all of us in Pakistan,
all of us, yeah.
Right? And I played cricket very seriously as well. I played till grade 2. And then I realized that I wasn't talented enough to go further.
Like all of us.
Like all of us. So I stopped. But I still played cricket throughout, right? And cricket was a very essential part of my life. Then I got injured. I had shin splints, right? For anyone who doesn't know, it's inflammation of the muscle attached to your shin bone, right? So every time I ran, they got inflamed and I was in a lot of pain. So I saw a doctor. They told me that I needed to give my shins a break, right? So 2-3 months just on a low, let your shins heal, use the ice pack and eat these anti-inflammatory, and that's all you do, right? Now, I've been playing sports my entire life. Like, I don't know how to live without it, honestly. 2 days home and I was just kind of banging my head in the walls that, what am I supposed to do now? Sort of now cutting, going back like 2 years to this point where I was, my cousin and I, we were traveling and we went to PC Bourbon and we went to Chinar Golf Club. He had some connections, got us in. This is about 6-7 years ago, right? We were there. And that's the first time I ever hit a golf ball, right? Please do attach that link. I've uploaded that shot, my first shot, right? I recorded that. Yeah, please do. So I remember, and I knew nothing about golf, Ayan, at that time. And now when I think about it, it's so funny that, they, like people over there, the caddies and the administration, they gave us 10 balls to hit. And it was like a favor on us that, we're giving you 10 balls to hit and we have 5 people. Yeah. So we hit 2 balls each. Yeah. right? That's it, right? So I hit that one ball, I hit the first ball, and it was such a sublime feeling that never left me. That's it. 2 balls I hit there, right? Never played golf again. 2 years later, got my injury, sitting at home, thinking about what to do. Mine went to golf, right? That, oh, that's a sport where you don't run, you walk. So I can do that while I'm injured. Fantastic. And it's such a strange thing, someone or the other in your family is either a Gymkhana member, has heard of golf, or knows someone who's played golf. I had no one in my entire circle. No one. So imagine, I had this thought at night. I opened Google Maps. I wrote golf in Lahore on Google Maps. I live in DHA. The nearest golf course it showed me was Raya, right? I said, okay, fine, right? And I don't know, I had this image where people play golf in the morning. Woke up at 5:30 a.m., right? Sat in the car, went to Raya, and the maps took me not to the country club Raya. At that time, the Raya head office was a little further from Raya. I was like, this doesn't look like a golf course, right? Asked a few people, got to Raya, hesitantly parked my car, never been there to a country club before for golf. Went to the lobby area of Raya, asked them, where do you need to go? They said, go in that direction. Went in that direction, stood at the range, looked right and left, didn't know what to do. This caddy came, he asked me, I was like, I want to hit some balls. He's like, do you have clubs? I was like, no, how does it work? He brought me a 7-iron, brought me a bucket of golf balls, and said, hit. And that's it, right? That day to today. That's it. That's how I got into golf.
Achha, so this is very inspiring because I've played with you once, and you started only 5 years ago. You have a damn good game for somebody who started 5 years ago.
I appreciate
What's your handicap right now?
8.
Many mata.
Maybe nahi.
I don't think that's not the right handicap. You're definitely lower than an 8. So, how do you see the game of golf in Pakistan? Very general question. Just want your opinions on that.
I can take this question in any direction.
In any direction you want.
So I see the game of golf in Pakistan with a lot of lack of honor. Honestly. I don't want to say the normal things that there's a lot of potential and there's such fantastic players of golf in Pakistan as well, and we could reach heights and places. And I mean, honestly, that's very standard things, and we all know this, right? In fact, your person who came on this podcast before, Ahmed Beg, speaks volumes of that potential that we have in Pakistan, right? So yeah, I mean, that's all said and done. But since you just talked about the handicap, and honestly, you and I are very much part and parcel of this as well. Why I say that there's a lack of that honor I see in Pakistan is because I don't feel that we over here have any sense of how to maintain our handicaps, what handicaps mean. Because a very integral part of golf is how truthful you are, right? How much of a gentleman you are, right? How honorable you are about who you are and what your game is. Because I feel like golf just resonates that for me personally, right? And I also have unfortunately been sucked into the entire narrative of how over here, and this is my opinion, right? I don't want to anger anyone when I say that we over here perceive handicaps as an average of what you play, which is not the true definition of how handicaps are calculated. Handicaps are calculated to the best of what you play, right? So I put up a video of myself on YouTube and Instagram of my swing, and I asked people what they think my handicap was. And I put up that swing, that video, and it was at that time the most interaction I got on a particular video. And if I got, I don't remember how many comments I got, but let's say if I got 100 comments, 95 of those comments said 4 and below. Right? That's what your swing is. And when I said that, oh, I'm an 8, and that time I was a 9. When I was saying that, oh, I'm a 9, they laughed at me. Right? They did not believe me. right? Recently, I put up a video. I was playing with these people who came from England, these expats, Pakistanis who were here, had a lot of fun with them. And I didn't even know in England they use a word for people who are not the right handicap. In Pakistan, we call them jali. In Britain, they call them bandits.
Yeah.
Right? They're bandits, right? So in the video as well, he's like, dude, you're such a bandit.
Such a nice word.
Right? So I feel like that we really lack that in Pakistan. And I say this from an individual to managements, to golf courses, to the federation, right? Throughout, because there's no enforcement of this. For example, the world has shifted to the World Handicap System, the WHS. PGF has mentioned to all the golf courses in Pakistan that they need to shift and adopt the WHS. Only 2 courses in Pakistan can do it who have gotten their slope rating done. Defense Raya in Lahore and Ramanza in Multan. No other course has done it. Why is PGF still conducting tournaments in other courses? When there is a ruling out there, right, that they need to shift, it hasn't stopped. So I feel like only when there's strict enforcement of it, right? I don't know whether again, you can correct me, on anyone else in the comments can correct me, whether Karsaz in Karachi, KGC, has been slope rated or not, but they do follow the process of how WHS works in terms of handicaps. Right. So they record every single round and they choose the best of them, and then like the WHS works. But I don't know whether they're slope rated or not.
I'm not sure of that. We need to check on that.
Because your WHS system has to add that formula of the slope rating of the course as well in it. So I feel like that's one place where all golfers in Pakistan are just not playing rightfully on their handicaps. I mean, and this is, we're actually talking about bandits, right? Let's take this the other way. All of those players who, poor golfers, who are 25 handicap golfers or 35 handicap golfers and have to play at 18. What about them? They are so significantly disadvantaged by the system over here. And I don't even know where and why this policy came that you had to play at 18.
Yeah.
Maybe because
it's been there from day one. Since I've been playing for the last 24, 25 years. It's been like that.
I don't know why, right? Maybe to counter the fact that people are bandits over here. Yeah. Maybe that's where it came from. But point is that either way, golfers are not, generally speaking, in my opinion, playing at their right true potential or their handicap, me included, right? All of what I've said, I apply to myself as well, honestly. But I don't know, what should I just go and suddenly declare myself to be a 4 handicap player? Like, how does it work? Because there's a system through which you get to 4, right? And I have recorded my rounds as well, right? I have the best 8 in my phone, in my app, and my app tells me, Shaan, you're a legit 8. Or you could be a 7 at best on some days, right? But I do play and sometimes go play like a 2 over or a 3 over, 4 over round, right? So again, I myself am very conflicted by this. And I do feel that this is some place as a whole community of golfers that we really need to look into, because I don't feel we're playing true golf in Pakistan.
Partly it's because the system isn't there. So who's going to implement the system? Right? There is a ruling out there that the courses need to be slope rated and tournaments need to be played on slope rated courses. But who's going to implement that?
I'll tell you something very, very interesting, and this is the amount of resistance from golfers. I was very amazed to see it. So Defense Raya, my home course, a couple of years back really enforced the rule that you needed to submit your handicap every single time you played. Right? And they said, if you don't, we had the biggest tournament of the year coming up at that time, which was a club championship, a 2-day tournament. And they said, if you do not submit 20 scorecards, or was it 8 scorecards, I'm forgetting, we will play you at 0. That's harsh.
Right? Yeah. Right. Somebody who's like even a 6 handicap playing at 0 is like, effectively you can't win.
Impossible, right? So they enforced it. I was very surprised to see. Majority of the people did not submit their handicaps or their scorecards. So what they did was, that particular year, they removed the net trophy.
Right. So
right?
it was just a gross match.
Just a gross match. The club championship was just a gross match. I was at 12 or 13 at that time. I played for the heck of playing. I played the first day, played like 15 over, didn't come the second day, obviously, right? Because there's no point in just playing for the gross category. I thought that was like a good stance taken by the club that, guys will now take it seriously. They will start submitting the scorecards. Nothing. People still didn't submit their scorecards. They're like, you know what? We'll stop playing these tournaments. But we will not submit our scorecards. Till a few months later, the participation in the Raya monthly medals tournaments reduced. Because people did not submit their scorecards. They can't participate in the gross category. So they stopped playing. To Raya having to bend their rules again to allowing people to play.
That's really unfortunate, actually.
So my counter to what you were saying, that there isn't any enforcement, and in this instance there was, but the resistance from the golfers was so great that the club had to change their ways because their revenue was falling, their participation was falling. So going back maybe to what I was saying, essentially that we as a community of golfers in Pakistan, really I feel like need to reevaluate how we do things, because again this is a golf of truth.
Mostly, I agree with you on that. We are falling behind. That's something that I've seen during the course of my playing time as well. What about the development of the game? You've been playing for about 5 years. So I've seen over a period of time that I've been playing that the game has developed 10 folds, 12 folds, no doubt about that. How about you? Like, you started 5 years ago versus now.
So 5 years ago when I started playing golf, I remember I used to go to the range at Raya. It used to be empty. Now I don't find a spot at Raya. And that is the evolution of the game. And it hasn't happened over 5 years. It's happened over 2 years. I don't know what happened. I think partially it's people just being a little more aware about golf. Partially I feel like Defence Raya has become the in spot in Lahore. So people were pulled towards Raya for golf. I think more people have realized the kind of connections you make in golf, business you can have in golf, relations you can build in golf. I don't know what it is, right? I'm just kind of throwing different things out there. Whatever it is, it has grown, tremendously grown. So many young people are coming into the game of golf now. It's becoming far more popular, which I feel like was the perfect time to start this YouTube channel, because suddenly like more people are there.
You have a growing audience.
Especially in Pakistan. So good time for that. But it is growing. And with this growth, exactly what Gary said to me as well, that we have 10 golf courses in a radius of 5 kilometers where he lives, 10 to 15 golf courses. And he's like, shooting content in England is so easy because the courses are empty. There are more courses than there are people. In Pakistan now, there are more people than there are courses. So many times you go to the course and it's booked, right? You don't have space to go on the range. You don't have a tee time that you can book on the course. So clearly the game of golf is growing. And I feel like if it's growing, it is for the better, right? I don't see this negatively at all, right? I don't care whether they are, people who are just coming to swing a club and then they don't come back again. Whatever it is, the game of golf is getting more attention now, which is automatically going to lead to its growth, which is automatically going to get more people involved who are great golfers. And suddenly the entire narrative and rhetoric around golf in Pakistan is going to evolve. And I feel like you and I are witnessing it as we speak, because it has not been happening for the past 10 years, in my opinion. You have been playing golf for longer than I have, but maybe correct me if I'm mistaken, that in the past 2 years, the growth that I've seen, I don't think it's happened in the past 10, 15 years in golf in Pakistan.
So my take on that was that in the 90s, when I started playing golf, actually, golf was a pretty decently popular sport, and we were working towards. But that was also because of the country's entire image, and foreigners were coming into the country, and it was easy to visit Pakistan. Pakistan was much more open and accessible to the world, and then that period happened where you know the whole story. That obviously impacted the game of golf as well, because golf is a global game. It has that global appeal, it has that global reach. But in the last couple of years, the last 3 years, I would say 2022, 23, and now 24. These 3 years, I've seen a considerable amount of growth in the game, as well as a lot of money flowing into the game, which I've not seen before. The tournament sizes have gotten bigger. Fine, there is inflation, but the growth of prize monies and sponsorships has outstripped inflation.
The more money comes in, the more brands get involved, the more sponsorships we get, the more tournaments we have, the more reach we have. So I feel like you're right. That has definitely been happening, and you arranging the JAZaman is such a fantastic example of it, because the prize pool this time around was bigger than any past JAZaman event, and I feel it's bigger than most of the events that take place in Pakistan, if not the biggest.
No, it's not the biggest. There are a lot of other tournaments that offer bigger prize money, like the Romanza Open offers much more prize money. The CNS Open offers much more prize money. Bangal Habib tournament in Karachi, a lot of golf in Karachi. As you know, Karachi is the business hub and all that. But kudos to the Zaman family who've increased the prize money year on year. And next year we're talking to the Asian Development Tour,
Really?
Asian Development Tour match in Pakistan, and have our tournament as a part of the Asian Development Tour.
Wow.
So there are a lot of requirements that they've given. I mentioned this in the podcast with Ahmed as well. We've met certain requirements. We're working on the others. They're not requirements that are impossible. So they're all doable. Right? So I'm pretty hopeful that by August or September, we will be in a position where we will be able to confirm that yes, in 2025, Pakistan is going to be having a Asian development match.
That's fantastic. I didn't know about that. Isn't JAZaman, I mean, when you compare it to the Romanza Open or the CNS or whatever other tournament that you've mentioned, but JAZaman is a private tournament, right?
Yeah, so it's a family-sponsored tournament.
So I'm saying in terms of that niche of tournaments, it has the highest prize pool.
Yeah, so in terms of the family-sponsored single tournament, it's the highest prize money.
Exactly. I mean, that's incredible.
In Mashallah, we had 530 participants this year. You didn't play.
I
But you
had
a
a
very
commitment.
You had a very valid.
But I've seen you manage it, and honestly, kudos to you to have managed something like that and pull it off and successfully. It's fantastic, and I love how it ended.
Thanks. Yeah, that was epic.
I feel like that was the icing on the cake, how it ended.
That was epic.
So yeah, kudos to you, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Talking about golf YouTube videos, I also want to know what keeps on motivating you to make these videos.
Honestly, there's so many moments where I have felt extremely demotivated to upload another video, or knowing that this video might not do well or it might do well. And this one video of mine, it is my pride and joy. It is the reason I'm continuing to do this. It is what motivates me. And honestly, how that happens, like we were talking about earlier, is there a method to the madness? And this video is evidence of the fact that there isn't. Because I distinctly remember I was watching golf content on YouTube, came across this page called Up and Down Golf. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not.
No, I haven't actually.
It's a British guy who manages it, about 20,000 odd subscribers. And he had made this format where he showed drone shots of the course, nice editing, good music, added a voiceover on top of where he was playing, what the yardage was and all, and then went into every shot that he played in 9 holes and added a voiceover behind it. That's it. Then since I clicked on that video, YouTube showed me 3-4 other videos of the same kind. So I thought, oh, okay, so this is a thing now on YouTube. I did not know this, right? And had a certain thumbnail and certain whatever. I went, shot 9 holes at Defense Raya, came back home, made the cuts the same very way, found some good music, put some drone shots, like very similar content I made. and I had voiceovers. And the best part was that I was getting late. So I woke up at 6 in the morning. I made the voiceover in a hurry, like 15 minutes. In 10 minutes, I added 9 holes of voiceovers, like completely, like honestly, between you and me, useless comments, right? I'm standing at 150 yards, I'm hitting an 8 iron, oh, it's gone straight. Like, how obvious is that to say that? I need to say it, right? The tracer is right there. Anyway, did that, uploaded the video, left, like just normal, like how I uploaded every video. And this is about 4 months ago, like just a month and a half, 2 months into me doing this. Right? And I uploaded the video. I think the first day, and at this point in time, this one video I uploaded earlier with Ahmed Beg had reached about 10K. And that was like, oh my God, 10,000 views, right? And this video, after the first day, was at about 3,000-4,000 views, which was like, whoa, what is happening? Something happened to it on the second day, before 48 hours ended. And literally, I remember that moment. I was sitting with my friends at night and I was telling them, guys, like after every 10-15 minutes, I was telling them, guys, what did I just say my video was on? They like, you said it was at 10,000. I was like, it's at 11,000 now, right? 20 minutes later, it's at 12,000 now, right? And then that one night I was there from like 11 a.m. till about 4 a.m. in the morning, and the video had crossed 25,000 views.
Your first proper viral video.
My viral video, first proper viral video, right? And after 2-3 days, it was at 30,000, right? It reached 50,000 views, which was like, I can't explain, Ayan, like what that feeling is, and like touching 50,000 views. At home, I ordered kulfa for everyone. Like my family said, "Kid, you need to celebrate this. We need to want to have kulfa," right? So I ordered like for 25 people because the video touched 50,000 views, right? Yesterday, the video crossed 500,000 views.
Nice.
500,000 views. And for anyone, just some context, for a video which is golf related, which is such a niche in the world as well, 500,000 views is like for a tech video to cross millions of views, right? And like it brings a smile on my face. Like even right now, just thinking about it, it gets me a little emotional. It, gets a smile on my face, because these people that I'm following, I'm aspiring to be people with 100,000 followers, 200,000 followers, subscribers and whatsoever. And I'm looking at the content that they're making. They don't have a video at 5,000 views, right? Their average viewership is far greater than mine, obviously. But they don't have that one video that's crossed 500,000 views. And that makes me feel something. Like, I don't know what it is. It's a different sense of elation, joy, excitement, right? And before I finish, because again, I can keep talking about this video for so long, Up and Down Golf commented on that video. Really? The very video I watched for inspiration, that person commented on the video, just like hey, came across this content, great video, mate, right? Loved watching it. I replied saying, dude, inspiration. Like I mentioned on the comments that I watched your video and this is because of you that I made this video. And he just very nicely replied saying that, yeah, that's great, man, but good video, right? And I was like, what? And then this guy, Golf Sidekick, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, big guy, had 300,000 plus. He commented on the video, right? And his video was just simply one question mark. Should I come for a collab? Question mark. And it was just like, still, right? I can't explain to you what that feels like. And to have a video at a half a million views is what. Like I want to like blow this up and say that it doesn't just motivate me to make golf content. It motivates me to wake up in the morning.
Shaan, this leads me to a very natural next question. Yeah. Hole in one, yeah, ye wali video or this video.
Oh, I'd give up 100 hole in ones for this video.
Really, that good?
100 hole in ones.
I've never had a hole in one, so I wouldn't know the feeling.
100 hole in ones, and I can say this without even a second's thought. Because between you and me, what effort do you put in a hole in one?
I don't know. I've been trying for 25 years.
I mean, every single par 3 you play, you stand with the same club that you do in these courses, you hit the flag, and then one of them goes in.
Yeah, it's that easy, right?
Honestly, when I had that hole in one, I made an entire Insta post as well, right? You should go read it if you haven't. I mentioned how it was extremely underwhelming.
Okay.
Extremely underwhelming. Like, I thought that when I make this hole in one, I'd be like running like Stephen Curry when he made that hole in one and ran from the tee shot to the green, and I'd be celebrating and shouting like a dog, right? But when I made that hole in one, I was a little underwhelmed. I thought it would feel a lot more than this. And I don't want to sound like, I was saying in my Insta post as well, I don't want to sound arrogant when I say this. Like, this is genuinely how I felt. I felt it would feel a lot more. It honestly didn't. Maybe it'll be different for you. That's how I felt. So I'd give up 100 hole-in-ones for this video.
I've been waiting for 25 years, so I don't know if and when that time comes. I don't know if it's going to happen.
I was pretty sure it was going to happen.
Right.
I never doubted that I will not have a hole-in-one in my golf career. It was just a matter of when it'll happen. It happened for me.
Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. So, Shaan, we've talked about you making golf videos and your motivations. What are your final goals and aspirations as a golf YouTuber?
I want to be the face of Pakistan golf on social media in the world. That's where I want to be. And when I say this, what I mean is that you see so many people now doing so much in golf around the world. They've got brand deals like Adidas and TaylorMade, and they're going to the TaylorMade Kingdom in the US, and they're making videos with the PGA pros as well. Very recently, like, it's suddenly blown up even more, right? People like Grant Horvath or Micah Morris and Rick Shields, and like them making videos with PGA professionals like left, right, center. Because even PGA has realized that there's a lot of power in social media to popularize the game for them even now, which is why there's a lot of kind of interconnectedness happening. And I do feel like, because I'm from here, like, I follow a lot of content for golf on Instagram and on YouTube and all these platforms. There's no one brown, and I'm saying this very deliberately, who is there. And I think we talked about this when we first met as well. Like, I see people from different ethnicities, different countries. And, you know, it's very important for these global brands that they have representation. It is what they thrive on and what they present as well. But they don't have it, because they don't have anyone from the subcontinent. They don't have anyone from this part of the world. And I feel like there's something to be done there. I would love like to be in a picture for Adidas or Nike or TaylorMade or Titleist or Callaway or whatsoever, these big brands for golf, where I'm standing with a bunch of people who are all golf influencers, and I'm in them, right? As a sole brown person, because there isn't any, right? That's where I want to be.
So don't you think social media is a very, very important tool for not only growing the game, but also growing the game in Pakistan, within the country as well?
Oh, 100%. 100%, because I feel it wasn't there at all, right? So many people now, thanks to the one video as well that went viral, know that there's golf in Pakistan. I've had comments of people asking me which airport to come to, how much the round cost, right? Where should we go? Could you plan a round for us? Like, all these things like never existed before that. So that's growing the game outside of Pakistan as well. And just the social media presence that you have, I don't know if in JAZaman or not, but thanks to these people who came from England, and they kind of introduced me to different people abroad as well. You know, there's a Muslim Golfers Association,
yes.
right? So there's a UK Muslim Golfers Association, there's a Canadian Muslim Golfers Association, there's a Muslim Golfers Association, there's around the world, and they organize these big tournaments with hundreds of people participating in them. And all of a sudden, like, I am following and they are following me on Instagram, and they've subscribed to my channel as well. And I'm sure they were possibly also wondering that, oh wow, didn't know this was happening in Pakistan, right? And I feel like there's a reverse kind of connection over here. I feel like the more the game grows abroad, the more it develops, the more a random person in Pakistan, these new generation who are very much into social media, right? The more they click on a Shaan Tahir video and see, oh, 300,000 views? Wow. They want to go to golf in Pakistan, right? Between you and me, I'm not getting those 300,000 views in Pakistan. There isn't much in Pakistan viewership. There's
We talked about this, that probably the entire market is limited to a few thousand maximum.
Right? Those views I'm getting from abroad, right? But those numbers will grow the game in Pakistan because people will be like, wow, okay, this is big, right? So I feel like with all these associations, with all, like if tomorrow, hopefully you or I were sponsored by one of these golfing brands, right? And we start representing it in Pakistan, because Instagram is one place, by the way, like in YouTube, majority of my subscribers or viewership are from the US or the UK, by the way, majority of them. On Instagram, it's all Pakistan. On Insta, hardly people have been following me from abroad. It's all people from this area. So the more that grows as well, the more people will know that there's golf in Pakistan.
I'll just give you an example of that. When I started posting on social media a year ago for the 9th JAZaman Memorial, right? We used to get about 400 views per post, stuff like that. Now when I start posting, although the amount of followers on the official JAZaman Instagram page are only about 500, 600 followers, but whenever I post anything or post a reel, video, story, etc., especially when the video that Ahmed won, that short little clip, that had 13,000 views on Instagram only.
Imagine.
And so 90% non-followers, and then only obviously all the followers that are following as well. So that basically says that there is a market over here. No doubt it's a smaller market. But then Instagram is that platform that caters to the local market, and YouTube is that platform that caters to the international market. One interesting thing I also wanted to talk about, I was on the social media handles of the PGTI, the Professional Golf Tour of India. And unbelievable. Have you ever had the chance to see?
Never.
You must go and see the website and the social media pages of the PGTI. So India just had the Chandigarh Open right now. I followed the entire tournament from start to finish on social media.
Wow.
And I genuinely felt the coverage was so good that I genuinely felt that I was there watching the tournament.
Fantastic.
It was unbelievable.
Wow.
Right, and that's the power of social media. When are our administrators going to realize this?
Soon. There's hope.
This is a very sensitive topic. It's an extremely sensitive topic. Some people get really
Offended by it.
offended, or I don't want to talk much. I don't want a black Vigo golf cart outside my outside my house.
No, but I think it's safe to say, and I think that wouldn't be crossing any lines. It's safe to say that there is a lot that can happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big gap that can be filled, which isn't.
And especially in a market where the demand is now outstripping supply.
Yes.
More golfers than golf courses.
100%.
It's poised for a boom, I think.
This is the time.
I know.
If you could afford it, it's the right time to build a private golf course.
Great, yeah, Shaan. It was lovely having you. We're going to end this with a quick thing which I call rapid fire golf.
Oh wow! Okay.
This is going to be short questions, short answers. Okay. So your nickname?
Shani.
Tells you that.
My mother.
What's your best score?
71.
What's one shot that you remember from your golfing career?
I had this rescue about 230 yards from another fairway over the water. Couldn't see the green. It was an uphill, downhill green. The flag was on top. I was within 2 feet. And I didn't even know that. It's only when I
didn't see it.
I didn't see it because the green was so far away. I was so off. I hit that shot, just kind of kept walking, went to the green. It was at 2 feet. I instantly, when I asked him the question, that's a shot that came to my mind.
What's the favorite club in your bag right now?
The driver.
And what's the least favorite club in your bag right now?
That's wood.
You have a one-shot lead. It's the last hole. It's a par 5. You're 200 yards out. Are you going to go for it in 2 or no?
No.
You're going to play it safe. Amateur golf. Yes, come on.
I'm sorry, but no.
What do you prefer the most? Par, 3 pars in a row, start to the round, or bogey, birdie, start to the round?
Par. Any day.
Stable.
Any day.
PGA Tour or Live Golf?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. Live.
And why?
Money.
That's a fantastic answer. Your golfing idol?
Ahmed Zafar Hayat.
Oh, nice. That's a good answer. Most talented player on the Pakistani tour?
Ahmed Beg.
Anybody apart from that?
Hands down.
For sure.
Hands down. Ahmed Beg. Right? I mean, obviously, everyone in Pakistan knows that Shabir Iqbal has been the most talented, the most accomplished. There's no doubt about that. But I know this is supposed to be a short answer, but I personally have this thing like Shabir Iqbal could have and should have made it much bigger. Like he could have done a lot more from Pakistan, gone abroad, played and whatsoever. He kind of stayed in his comfort zone, which I think I've heard that he regrets now as well, right? But I feel like, I mean, he sold himself way shorter.
Thank you very much, Shaan. It was a pleasure having you.
Ayan, I'm so happy that you're doing this. Pakistan desperately needed a podcast like this, honestly, and you've taken the initiative and you've done such a fantastic job at it. Thank you for considering me to be on the podcast. This was an absolute pleasure, honestly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And inshallah, see you soon.
Inshallah.
All right.